Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In this lecture we are going to talk about the most important aspect in the study of the professional English, that is the endocrine system. I think that the endocrine system, all of us know something about the endocrine system. This system is something related to the hormones and the glands that produce them. It also makes up the job, that is to regulate the body's metabolism, reproduction, growth, and some other daily activities, just like sleep, eat, and feeling hungry, etc. The endocrine system is an information signal system. So the person who is a specialist in endocrine system is called the endocrinologist. So most of the researches are usually conducted on dogs, and in lab works, the dogs are the typical animals by which all researches are conducted on them, because they have their own typical endocrine system, just rather than the guinea pigs or mouse or etc. As you know that there are two types of glands. The endocrine system has two types of glands, endocrine and exocrine. So endocrine releases their products and hormones without ducts, directly to the body system, while exocrine, such as liver glands, sweat glands, and mammary glands, they also excrete their products through ducts. This is a brief account about the endocrine system. So endocrine system, an excess and deficiency. That the excess means that so or too much, and deficiency it refers to the meaning of too little of circulating hormones causes a wide range of medical conditions. For example, hyperthyroidism and hypothyroidism, where there is an excess of hormones. One form of treatment consists of giving a patient something which inhibits the production of that hormone, as in the use of carbimazole to treat hypothyroidism. When a hormone is deficient, treatment may be by replacement therapy, for example injections of insulin in the treatment of type 1 diabetes. So doctors usually say sufferers of type 1 diabetes are deficient in insulin. This is this figure, as you know, that this is the negative feedback systems. So TRH, thyroid or thyrotropin releasing hormone is secreted in the hypothalamus and triggers the production of TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, in the pituitary, while TSH stimulates the TSH receptor in the thyroid to increase synthesis of both T4 thyroxine and T3 thyroidropine, thyroionine, and also to release a stored hormone, producing increased plasma levels of T4 and T3. So T3 feeds back on the pituitary and perhaps hypothalamus to inhibit TRH and TSH secretion. So now we can shift into the enlargement of thyroid gland, that is goiter. So goiter is called an enlargement of the thyroid gland, though this enlargement may be diffuse, involving the most of the gland, or localized limit of the particular area, as in the solitary nodules. The increased blood flow in diffuse enlargement, for example in Graves' disease, may give rise to the palpable thrill vibration felt with the hand, and an audible brute noise heard through the stethoscope over the land. A letter of referral. This is, as a matter of fact, a highly sophisticated or a highly influential way of expressing, or this is the highly potential of expressing your thoughts that is affiliated to this field of system in the human body. As you are a dentist and a specialist, you should write your letter of reference in a very professional way. So Mrs. Davis, doctor, has referred her to an endocrinologist. So you can write that, dear doctor, I would be grateful if you would see this 50-year-old woman who has lost 20 kilos in weight in spite of eating more than usual. She describes herself as overactive, and at first she thought the weight loss. Thus, in writing such a referred letter, is that the doctor should be highly specific in expressing the thoughts inside the letter, just like using usually simple present tense, as you notice that she describes herself as overactive, and at first she thought the weight loss was due to this, but more recently she has developed palpitations. So there is a sort of imbalance between the tenses. He started with the simple present tense. The second sentence, he usually also uses the simple present tense, while in commenting about her case that she recently has developed because there is a sort of relationship between past, because she was suffering from the diarrhea, some heat intolerance or palpitation, and now she usually has developed palpitations, diarrhea. For this purpose, the relation between the past palpitations, past diarrhea, and heat intolerance up to this moment of speaking, that she is usually still suffering from this case. She has also noticed from the past up to the moment of the speaking, noticed that that her hands are or have tendency to shake. She is usually developed shake hands or hands shaking. Her symptoms suggested hyperthyroidism, and this was confirmed by my examination. This was confirmed by examination, because if the doctor himself sent the letter will be in the past, because another doctor will read it, that will this case will be in the past. For this purpose, the writer of the message started or used the simple past tense, was confirmed by me or my examination, which revealed in the past an enlarged thyroid, red sweaty palms, and fine tremor of the hands. So the meaning or the synonym of the word overactive, more active than usual, palpitations, not palpations, palpitations, awareness of rapid and irregular heartbeat, heat intolerance, it means inability to cope with high temperatures, and fine tremor, it means that the fine tremor, very slight involuntary movements. In this, as a matter of fact, in this case is the gist of expressing your ideas in the text. Now we can shift into the exercises, and these exercises have their tendency towards using some words or expressions that are highly important in the field of endocrine system. Just like the answers given are the words used in the original text, possible alternatives are shown in the brackets. For example, a stimulus, the first dash or the first blank, pulses of GnRH are released from hypothalamus. The first blank will be stimulus or triggers. Those two words can be used. By the way, triggers, stimulus is a scientific word, while triggers is something usual by the popular people. You can use the triggers. Triggers are LH and FSH. While number 2, release the secretion from the pituitary gland. Pituitary gland or pituitary. LH, the number 3, LH stimulates third person singular, testosterone. Number 4, production or secretion from Leydig cells of the testis. كذلك testosterone. Number 5, testosterone feeds back on the hypothalamus pituitary to what? To inhibit GnRH. Number 7, secretion GnRH secretion. Now the new sentence, FSH, it means that, or it refers to the stimulates or triggers the sertoli cells in the semiferous tubules to 9 produce mature sperm and inhibits A and B inhibition. Inhibition causes feedback on the pituitary gland to decrease FSH secretion or production. All these are filled with these examples. These are highly important to complete your requirements in this section. Another exercise, that is the complete the sentences. Look at A and C opposite to help. The blank number 1, A blank, diffuse change affects many parts of an organ or gland. This is 1. Number 2, localized change affects only one part. Number 3, his diet is deficient in iron. He suffers from deficiency in iron. Iron deficiency, sorry. He doesn't get enough iron. Number 4, excess T3 and T4 increase the basal metabolic rate. Now go to another exercise, that is 18.4. Match Mrs. Davis' symptoms with the questions her doctor asked. Look at D opposite for help. Diarrhea, not diarrhea. Diarrhea means that diarrhea 1D. D, it means are you diarrhea. Number 2, eating more. Number 3, heat intolerance. Number 4, overactivity. Number 5, palpitations. Number 6, weight loss. Number 7, tremor. These words are usually used in endocrine system. A in the next column or opposite column. Do you prefer hot weather or cold? Is your weight steady? What is your appetite like? Are your bowels normal? Are you able to sit and relax? Do your hands shake? Have you ever felt your heart beating rapidly or irregularly? So the answer of number 1 would be D, that is, are your bowels normal? This is diarrhea. Number 2, eating more. It means that that what is your appetite like? Number 3, heat intolerance. The answer would be A. Do you prefer heat weather or cool? Number 4, E. Overactivity. Are you able to sit or relax? Number 5, the answer would be, have you ever felt your heart beating rapidly or irregularly? Number 6, weight loss. Number 6, B, is your weight steady? Number 7, tremor. F, that do your hand shake? This is as a matter of fact, the gist of exercises and the most important terminologies that are used, or contexts that are usually used in this lecture. Over to you. Write a referral letter to the endocrinologist for appetite who you believe has hypothyroidism. Use the letter in D opposite as a model to you. If you want to write something about that, inshallah, if we resume the face-to-face lectures, we are going to have some models or some forms of writing referrals in the between doctors and doctor-patient. There is, as a matter of fact, there is a common mistake or common errors usually used by some people who are interested in the field of medicine. This example of mistake, just like I would be grateful if you would send it to the address above mentioned in philosophy. This is, as a matter of fact, an error, common error. The correct form, that I would be grateful if you would send it to the above mentioned address. This is the correct way. Another example, that the sales manager was absent at the meeting. The sales manager was absent from the meeting. Absent at the meeting is not allowed, while was absent from the meeting is allowed or correct. I went to her house at 4 o'clock, but she was absent. I went to her house at 4 o'clock, but she wasn't in. I think that is fair enough for today. Thank you for listening. Next week, inshallah, we will have some assignments should be answered next week, inshallah. Thank you for your listening.